All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce to you that the Magna Ginger Chips for your funerals, parties, engagements, you can order this particular one. The Magna Ginger Chips is in this form as well. So call 0277609644. It's not yet in America yet, but in Ghana. And this morning, our discussion is simple. And like my driver gave me a straight answer. My question is between the man and the woman in the marriage circle, who makes marriage work? Who makes marriage work? Is the man. And I'm surprised she's saying is the man. But if I turn I take the question for her, so she has answered the question to favor us. But this is the way I put the question. Between the man and the woman, who causes more problem? That's how you heard it, is that not it? And you say, who causes more problem? Why do you think the man will cause problem? Because look, my pastor preached a certain preaching on Sunday that we are petitioning him to reframe the preaching. God, he advised the women in my church that he wants to encourage them to tea chobo. Tea chobo. I'm happy my wife was not in church, because this chobo thing they are talking about, they do it all. Or they are now said it from the pulpit. Chobo. How do you say chobo in English? You are the scholars. Is there a word like that? That when your husband gives you money, hide some. Or when people are saying the money doesn't reach, so what are you going to hide? That is the first question. Every day they say the money doesn't reach, they have to top up. No money has reached for them before, but yes, still they are able to hide some money that doesn't reach. How are they able to hold some? It's okay. Sometimes they hold and then they end up giving it back to you when it is necessary. That's another game. They hold, but they give it back to you when it's necessary. So happy. We're just going to take them to rather down street like that. Well, so my topic this morning is between the man and the woman, who makes marriage, who brings more troubles in marriage. When we say there are troubles in marriages, who brings more troubles in marriages between the man and the woman? And that is where we are. And your answers will be read for you. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Now, my birthday is up to the 30th day of April. So between who brings more troubles in the marriage circle? Who brings more trouble in the marriage circle? And my question is not too friendly. Who brings more problems in marriage between the man and the woman? Who makes marriage work between the man and the woman? So at least it's a gender balance thing. And I believe that most of us will be happy to know who brings this trouble to us in the marriage. And like when Rava made it clear, she believes that it is the man. And the reason why her belief will be interrogated, her belief will be investigated, is because I think it's not entirely true. It's a thought, but I don't think it's entirely true. Because what at all would a man do to bring troubles in marriage? What? Oh, your girl has come to join life. What are you going to see her? Peggy, I've seen what you have done. You sold things for them. That is only one person's birthday. And you left me in the system. Peggy, you sold for, at least Selena is exempted from the salvation. But Frederica and the mother, what are they celebrating? And the worst is that they have something in their hair. Aplanke's birthday. I'm now scared that what is going to happen on her birthday. We have to talk about that. You know that Sunday my wife set a new record in my life. I've never gone to church to change my dress before. I got to church, my wife says you have to change your word this one for. These are the troubles we are talking in marriage. Is it not trouble? So between the man and the woman, the husband and the wife, who causes more trouble in marriage? That is my conversation. And what is my motivation for this discussion? My motivation is what makes marriage work, or what makes marriage workable. What makes marriage workable? And relax. What makes marriage workable? Because Maya is coming. And thank you very much. Sir K, thank you for joining me from YouTube. Thank you, Peggy. Maya is coming. Thank you very much. Good morning, sir. Good morning too. Let's go ahead. Let's read messages that are coming your way. Between the man and the woman, who causes more trouble in marriage? And who makes marriage work? A marriage is workable because my driver said marriage is workable, which I am beginning to agree, because marriage between Medical and Fela Mekafui was the best of the couples that we can ever think of, because they were the Generation Z, the Generation Z model of Ochame Kwame's marriage, because Ochame Kwame and the wife, I've not seen them in music videos before, but when they wrote the book, they said they wrote it together, so they turned the book upside down. Ochame Kwame and the wife are models of good husbands and good wives in our celebrated corner or in our celebrity chapters. Myself and my wife, we are not a good, because my wife will not even come into the limelight, so it's difficult for you to see. I mean, if you take a picture with her, it will take the grace of God for her to post it. And that is her right. Marriage doesn't take the right from you. So I'm saying that, like Fela Mekafui, when Medical writes a song, Fela comes to sing, dig it out, he does this thing. I was shocked when Medical sat on radio and announced that they are separated and they are no more. And ever since this happened, I hope it is not a publicity stunt. My reason is that we've had these things before, and people pick it as publicity stunt, and they use it for publicity. So I don't want to come back to believe that this is for publicity, because if it's for publicity, then we are in trouble. How do you joke with your marriage? Because I've heard it before, and I ask a close ally, is it moment of crisis so we go and settle, help them? He says it's not crisis moment. It is not crisis. It is a music they are bringing out. They are just trying to work on a certain music that they are bringing to the limelight. It's okay, I hear. Yeah, is it? No, yeah. It's a most of it. Yeah, yeah. You have to pay what to bring it to come. For anyway, I will get this. You know who I'm going to make it up. Maybe higher now. Maybe higher now. We should do that. Okay. I can't get that. And the tax will be more. Sorry, I'm doing business behind the scene. I needed to do some things. So share with me, between a man and a woman, who brings more trouble when it comes to marriage issue? Somebody is saying is the man, but I don't want to believe. This guy selling the clock. The golden clock is nice. I wanted to buy it the last time. He insulted me. Yes. He has come to my car again. You are selling, working on the sun. I ask you how much is it? Then you ask me, Uber Tony, Ubi Sanana. It's painful at times when you see them on the sun and you want to help them. All right, so between the one and the one who brings a lot of trouble when it comes to marriage business. So it was this Nigerian guy who said that this guy is not correct. Leave him, Oga. Leave him, Oga. This Nigerian guy, he will sell and open a shop. And the Ghanaian guy will stand on the street like this boy. I've known him for more than 5 years, selling tie like this. Okay, so let me take your quick talk on it. Why do you think that the man is causing problems? What are some of the problems that you think men bring in marriages? And mind you, as you talk, don't forget that your husband might be watching. Or we'll go and watch later. Because maybe the things you even call trouble, they are not troubles. Say medical and medical and wife didn't come class to learn. Okay, didn't come to the class to learn the subject on marriage. That's why. Well, they think love grows. Love conquers, or is that what they say? But there's a statement that my driver made that I've not forgotten. He said the eating of the is it what's the statement? The sweetness of the pudding is what? It's in the eating. We're treating a certain topic and she made this statement. It has not left my head. The sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. So what do you think? She says that my driver says that between men and women, men are the main causes of bad problems in marriages. If marriage is not working, the people who cause marriage not work are men. So I'm asking her opinions. Because some of the things she's going to point, we are going to learn from it. And I'm ready to learn here today. If you have any view that between the men and the women in marriage, which people cause more problem for the marriage? Let me hear your points. Your point of view is very important. Brought to you by Makwe Ginger Chips. Makwe Ginger Chips. Makwe Ginger Chips. Makwe Ginger Chips is the counselor Judge Lutrot. And the MSP has also come for women. And the MSP, I'll give you a sample of MSP very, very soon. Even the Makwe Ginger Chips, I'll show you one or two. Tonga Tally is still ready. So let's go. Please share with me. Let's hear your point quickly because I know you'll be lighting as we do the next one. So let me hear you. Why do you think that men, for you have dealt with men before? You have kept men. You have brought men closer to you. You have record of men, not with video, but you have record of men. Men have helped you before. You have never even said it before, but I can suspect that in your days, your mobile phone was brought to you for you by a man. Because in those days, if you see a woman holding phone, it is serious for you to know where she was. She doesn't know the store. I'm not saying that a man bought it for you with their money, but I mean you give money to a man to go and buy the phone.
Thank you very much. You know, my first phone, Nokia TC310.
That was your first phone?
That was my first phone.
Wow.
I bought it with my national service back pay.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
Is your mother aware?
I don't think she's aware. Because that money, I was planning to pump it into farming.
Oh, you wanted to do farming?
Yes.
Wow.
You see these
electric
poles?
Thick.
Yes, I got a land at Oforidia that was lying fallow, and I knew the man. It's like a family land. They were not using it for anything. So I was planning to use my money to buy the seedlings from one of the science research institutes in Oforidia, the Eastern region.
Wow.
Because most of the job I was doing were roaming, so I knew a lot of places.
Well, you went to tourism.
Yes.
And I'm surprised the tourism. Where have you kept it?
Scanning.
Are you sure?
Scanning. So I was planning to use the money to buy the tick and plant it, and then give myself some 5 years and then harvest it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, technology came and I joined a train. So I used my money to buy my first phone
Yourself.
myself. Nokia 3310. No
You
man
didn't
bought
send.
it.
You didn't send any man to go and buy it for you.
I went to buy it myself.
And when you were at the shop, no man served you.
No,
No man set it for you.
I don't remember.
That one you don't remember, but you can remember you bought it from a shop.
Yes.
And you did a setting by yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And I bought the SIM card.
You bought a SIM card too on top.
Yes.
And
But
you
then
bought
the
your own
SIM
credit.
card was very expensive. It's not now that they are selling it 1 Ghana 5 cedis and
Nice 20 cedis.
Because the SIM card I bought was like 40% of the cost of the phone.
Wow.
So I used my money
to buy your first phone.
Buy my first phone.
Wow. So actually, you cannot be boasting of things that we benefited from men.
No.
You, the way you are beautiful like this, or not that you can think of, or the things you are talking about, they are not tangible benefits.
Not tangible. No, we are afraid to pick the tangibles.
So they are available, but you are afraid.
Yes.
Religion took you out of the favor.
Yes.
So what religion? What did it take it from you? Did it take good morals from you, or the ability to become what you were thinking you were supposed to be? Because
there were some golden opportunities that came by.
You call them golden?
Yes. Now that
they are like Royal Century, golden.
Opportunity to work in some places, travel. Like I won't be here in this country.
Also, like you be in America right now.
I mean, roaming around.
In the hospitality industry.
Yes.
But there's no money.
Outside,
but there's roaming.
Outside, if you are in tourism outside, is more profitable than this country.
Okay, so like there are opportunities through men, but you realize your religion stopped you.
Yes.
So have you regretted?
Sometimes.
What brings your regret? That whatever you could have achieved, you've not achieved them yet.
Well, more than 50% of my cycle of friends are out of the country.
Okay. And they are making it.
They are making it, yes.
Are they male or female?
Female.
And they are making it. What do you call they are making it? They bought houses, they build houses, they've established. They are foreign children who speak accents. They can say probably. You can spell best.
Incredibly. It's incredibly.
Or they have husbands who are not giving them troubles. Their marriages are working.
They are happy.
Or they portray happy before you.
Yes.
They portray they're happy.
Yes, they don't bring problems for me.
They don't come and tell you what they are going through.
No.
They always paint the picture of.
Yes.
It is rosy.
Yes, I see them excited.
So when you go and meet them and what they are showing is, what will you do? The eating of the, what is it? The sweetness of the pudding is in the eating.
It's part of life.
So whatever they are going through is part of life.
Yes. It's also part of life.
Then whatever you're also going through, if you are going through it, it's also what?
It's part of life.
Okay.
That's why you don't really worry your head about it.
Okay. But you know that your friends in abroad, they don't own anything. Everything they own is on credit. Are you aware?
It's part of life.
You own a car, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I mean, so you cannot pinpoint with all that you have on anything that you got from a man. Okay. Except your father.
Except my father and except my husband.
Okay, so that's when you got married.
Yes.
You can boast of things that you've achieved because of your husband.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank God you have a good husband who thinks about you. It's not everybody who gets it that way. And the prophecy of Juliet is coming through that the rain is going to meet my daughters. That's prophetic. So why do you say that most problems that they get in marriages are caused by men?
Thank you very much.
I hope you can hear it.
You know, you said earlier on that we are saying the women, the wives are saying the money is not sufficient.
Somebody says I should read a message for you that the makers, the women are the makers and the breakers, the daughters of Jezebel. So they will make it medical and break it medical. Go ahead, Abbas.
If your husband gives you insufficient funds, yes.
Hey,
Some husbands are lazy.
is there any sufficient fund for
Some
any woman?
men are lazy.
Is there anything called sufficient fund for any woman in this world?
Yes, there's breathing money. Didn't you hear? Didn't you hear Henry telling us that he was giving, what do you call it, Sewa, 2,500 cedis every day.
Daily chop money.
Daily chop money. Didn't you hear that?
2,500.
Yes, that's breathing money every day.
2,500.
What are you talking about?
No, when you are giving 2,500, what will you do?
So many things.
You are lying. You can't do anything with it. You will never do. You will never do anything reasonable with 2,500 apart from going to save it in the bank to enrich the bank manager. No, come to think of it, somebody
money.
If somebody gives you 2,500, you know that you are waiting for 2,500 Ghana cedis every day.
I'm only giving you an example. It's breathing money. Sika homie. Sufficient funds.
So when men are not supposed to provide, if a man is not able to provide you sufficient funds, it causes problem in the marriage.
Yes.
But help me, how do we know this money we are giving you is not sufficient?
But we tell you.
But have we given you money that is sufficient before?
That's why I'm saying. Scanning and so.
And the pastor says, "We have been seen."
And so,
but we are there. Oh, there's no money a woman has.
We always top up. We always top up.
Salt is salt top up.
We always top up.
Is salt top up? Salt is it top up? One bag of water is it top up? But let me ask you a question. I mean, once you say these things, that a woman is sitting in the house, a bag of water and sachet water, 10 cedis. The water is finished. She doesn't have money to buy the sachet water, so she goes to buy three of the sachets to come and drink one in the morning, drink one in the afternoon, drink one in the evening. Is it fair? You've not been able to steal some of the man's money, so you can provide
when
water.
We steal the money. You now come and tell us we are this.
But you are stealing already.
When we steal the money, we steal to push him so that there's no issue. You say you are stealing.
So my argument is the money I give you is not enough, but you are able to steal to cushion me. Me, because of the stealing, that's why I give more. If you meet my wife, I give her money. At times, unrecognized money. She doesn't even know there's money coming. She will go and meet it on the crossroads of Damascus. Just because I wanted to steal and keep. So your problem, the first problem you see coming between men in marriage is that men who are not working hard to provide for women.
Yes.
So they can't provide.
This is two fools. One is the insufficient, and the second one is the lazy men. There are men who don't like edumading. They are lazy.
Okay.
Some men will give you half school fees, and that's the end. You ask them, and the rest will never come.
They don't have.
So go and work hard and get more.
What they gave you, the half they gave you is hard working money.
We appreciate it.
So
but it's not enough.
But that shouldn't cause problem in the house.
It's not enough. Why should it cause problems?
I don't have.
It's not enough.
I don't have. I can't kill myself.
It is not enough.
I can't kill myself.
If you can't kill yourself, then you have to be single.
So why did you also agree to marry a man who cannot provide enough?
That was not the picture from the beginning.
Who painted the picture for you? Who was the artist?
You.
When I was painting the picture, where were you?
You painted a picture.
So I painted a picture that you've not seen this picture before. You should agree to marry this man. Now you say the man is the cause of your problem. And this is trouble in marriage. Yes. I can't provide. Okay.
What did the Bible say about men who cannot provide?
It said they are worse than an unbeliever.
Yes. Is that not problem? Recipe for problem.
If you can't provide.
Yes.
But if a man cannot provide for you as a wife, what are you doing in the marriage?
So we'll leave.
So why haven't you left?
I'm planning to.
Why do you have to plan?
I have to plan before I leave.
Why are you leaving to?
My family.
They're your family too. They are something. They didn't see the artwork. Yeah, love. Your family too didn't see the artwork. Your neutral will save you than your back. So that's your first thing, a man who cannot provide. This one say, men, why am I saying that? Because 90% of men say that they have the right to take different women because our culture accepts it. But come to think of the pain it brings to wives. Well, I didn't read that part, but I get where you're coming from. I think, okay, make and destroy is by daughters of Jezebel. And you're writing there. This one, Kuma Rita. Rita, I've not seen your previous message, but I think what you're saying, I get it. Okay, so you have one, men who cannot provide. Is it just money, job money, or you're talking about rent, you're talking about school fees?
Provision, food, shelter, clothing.
So if you are living with a husband who your light is finished and he tells you, remove the things from the fridge, I'm going to give it to your neighbor to keep for you because I don't have money to buy credit now.
No support.
Is there a problem?
It becomes a problem if it becomes consistent. At the moment I start supporting now, you don't care about it anymore.
So that's the issue I have. A lady said their credit got finished. And when he asked the husband says, only Yamanu go share, now down for Bakuni free for the meantime. And it's been 4 weeks now. The iron in the other person's room.
That is the beginning.
And so she decided, say she goes to iron and she's feeling the inconvenience that the husband, because the husband will take a shirt without going to iron. Like onon to nyama and the infano. Only for a fridge. So she took the initiative to go and buy the credit and told the husband it's on credit. Bought a unit and say it's on credit. It's been 4 weeks now. He's never even asked that whatever he said he didn't have. And you think this is a problem, eh?
Yes.
And this problem you think is caused by the man?
It's caused by the man.
Is he working at ECG?
Well, it's part of providing for the family.
Yes.
Providing for the family. So you cannot provide for the family. Once or twice I come in to support. Now you think that pay like Juliet, you pay whatever. This is how it's
you don't subscribe to that?
No.
So that one is a problem?
Yes.
When we share duties at home, yes. I am building. So take care of the family in the house. Whilst I buy building materials. Feed the house. Whilst I pay school fees. You think it's not the right thing? It's not. So these are problems that men cause.
Yes.
So you think that the biggest problem a man can cause is provision for his family?
It's one of them.
Okay. All right, so the devil has given us some key points, and she's not done yet. I know, but I don't know your take on the things that she's talking about. That for her, when a man is not able to do these things, it causes problem at home. I don't know about you. Then a bema, obale bema ewa wadie asia. Omumwe ne ma wadie enye juma. Omumwe ne sea wadie ntem. Omumwe mwanya adeyo ne sea wadie. Mwanya behavior. Mwanya posture and sea wadie. Between the man and the woman, which of them that their attitude causes bad things in marriage? That's the question. That a marriage won't work, or when there are problems in marriage that must be solved between the man and the woman, who causes it more? Mind you, my practical example for this discussion is in the Garden of Eden, where Adam and God lived for 10 years. There was no trouble. According to the history of the Bible, there was no trouble. But trouble started when the woman engaged the serpent in conversation in the Garden of Eden. And out of that conversation, the most happiest example for marriage, the biggest marriage contract that God signed, to use it as the best example for every marriage and the model for creation, was thwarted because a woman who came later in the garden, or who came later to the marriage industry, the garden to be precise, engaged in conversation with the serpent who was in a garden before the woman came. So if our conversation will go into foundation of marriage, then I think that trying to position between the man and the woman who causes marriage or who causes problem in marriage, when they say it's the man, I need more explanation. Even when you say it's the woman, I will need more explanation. Or I believe that none of the two of them are the cause of problems in marriage. That is my stand. And I will explain myself. I don't believe that the man causes problem in the marriage. Neither do I also believe that the woman causes problem in the marriage. I don't. That's the word. My stand is that both of the two of them are not the cause of bad marriage. Even though in the history of marriage, the best example and the best model of marriage is Adam and Eve. Whatever God in his plan to do with human beings started with Adam and Eve. Adam lived with the things that God created with no names for 10 years by Bible history. Managed them for 10 years with no name. But because the woman was coming as a guest of honor into the marriage, names were given to the things so that the woman would be very conversational in the garden. So Adam was with the serpent, but didn't know this is called a serpent. So Adam was with the wisest creature, but never had an idea about the wisest creature. It is raining. So between the man and the woman in marriage, the people who have become husband and wife, the driver gives us a lot of first preamble of what she will call problems caused by men in a marriage industry. And he says the first one for him or for her, sorry, is a man who cannot provide for his family. Let's discuss what do we call provision? Because and she gave an example of, I didn't know, but I just heard it, that 2,500 Ghana cedis was an amount of money that the relationship that was not married was being provided for a talking jolly. We cannot use a talking jolly example for a marital contest, because talking jolly has an expiring date that is known. Unfortunately, talking jolly is not a demand, it is by choice. But marriage is by demand. And the demand is that this is a wife, and the wife deserves this, as compared to this is a sex meet, this is a girlfriend, this is a steady mate. So they don't have an obligation to deserve a certain quota of what a man earns, like a husband. And she said it right, that from the Bible's point of view, a man that cannot provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever. But what we call provision for family? Is it the demand of a luxurious taste of a wife? Is it when you are dying for a wife who wants to drive a Mercedes Benz, whilst your money is Toyota Vitz? Is it the situation where your wife has made it a mark?
Oh, Charlie.
Sorry. So when we are talking about provision, like when Dara was saying, you put it there to block it. What is called he can't provide? Because there are some that you struggle not because of anything, but your struggle is because there's a higher demand from the said wife. Because look, your wife has peers. For example, my driver was sharing that almost all the friends that they started with, majority of them, or 50% of them, are out state. They are no more in Ghana. And she sees a lot of goodies coming their way. They portray that there's a lot of goodwill for those. And I didn't even ask. The friends you are talking about, are they all married?
Yes.
So almost all your people, everybody's got married. They are 40. Did they marry themselves?
Right.
Schoolmates.
No. Only one married yet.
Thank you very much. So your own is that when a man is not able to provide, not based on his circumstances, but he cannot provide, it leads to problem in marriage. And that problem you are talking about, you believe that is the man's problem.
Yes.
And not our problem. You know that for me, to be honest with you, if you ask me my opinion, between a man and a woman, who causes problem in marriage, I will tell you, none of them.
Right.
So I'll give you my share as I listen to your share, because you give me just one provision. I have just got one. Hear me. And I was giving an illustration when you were out. The first problem in marriage we had was in the Garden of Eden. Are you aware? Yes. The first marriage that we all came to know is the marriage between Adam and Eve. And God brought their marriage as a provisional marriage, so we can, as it were, capitalize on it to model the wealth and the rest of the plans for marriage. So they failed God.
Yes. She's on maternity leave. I think last week in December. Yeah. No, she's at the north actually. Yesterday they came to tell me. She's at the north. But she added her leave. She added part of her leave.
I pray this internet will keep us.
Last year's leave. Yeah.
Because I am scared.
She's yes.
Serious.
So maternity leave. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I pray that the internet will.
Okay. All right.
You can't go. So tell this one to come back. but he didn't pack well. Blow him, let him come back. So give him light to come back. So I was trying my best to let you know that God planted Eve after Adam has stayed 10 years in the Garden of Eden. I'm sorry, I'm distracting you, but it's raining and somebody has blocked the. Then you have to do for it. You have to just manage and move closer to him by scratching his car. Don't go too much there. Get closer to him, scratch his car. Get closer to him. Bring his mirror down. Come back, come back. Okay? Get close. Come close, don't worry, come and bring his mirror. Go back. Go back. Pack well. You didn't pack well. Hey, pack well. Oh. Only vet you are driving at means. When you buy a Volvo like me, poverty. So I am back. So Adam was in the Garden of Eden for 10 years and was living with the things in the Garden of Eden without names. But there was no problem. The serpent was with him. There was no problem. But when the special guest of honor, Eve, when Eve came, the story changed. Why did the story change? The story changed because the presence of Eve was when things had names. Do you get a picture? So I don't think that between the male and the female we can really point out and say it is a male. But that's opinion. It's a very solid opinion. Because if a man cannot provide, it says it's worse than when the rain falls on you, that's the end. So when a man cannot provide, I'm afraid of my internet. I see some things happening that my internet will start having a challenge. Well, I said, not to be the brought it to you because you're not the call. The phone was ringing. So they brought it to you in the kitchen. Lola brought it. And then brought it back. And then the call came again. Selena brought it. Selena to pick up. So I don't know, but it's a discussion that we've just started. What makes marriage what is a broad thing, but as we look at the chapters of what makes marriage work, then we also want to be looking at the provision of who causes problem in marriage. Because if you are able to know who causes problems in marriage, and how can those problems be solved? It's raining, so it's full of calculation. This is not fashion. This is calculation, not fashion. So my driver will have to run through the rain because provision have not been made with a raincoat. All of you think about umbrellas. I think of raincoat. The raincoat is for a reason. So the question is still there between the man and the woman. Who causes marriage? Who causes problem in the marriage cycle? Brought to you by Makwe Ginger Chips. Makwe Ginger Chips is available now on 0277609644. That's the level of availability. That's Makwe Ginger Chips. That's the level. And so trying to do a 10 in this way. And I'm coming. I'm trying to. It is not an easy game to do this calculation. You understand? Right. You have to learn it because if you don't learn it, you can be wrong. So our discussion is not too sweet. Between the man and the woman, who causes more trouble in marriage? And I have resolved that in the marriage industry, I have not yet seen, I have not yet seen any of the two people causing troubles. However, there are issues that comes up in marriage, like provision that must be made. And unfortunately, it is the right reserve of a husband to do certain positions, and it is the right reserve of a wife to do certain positions. So, if that is what is supposed to be, and it is anything to write home about, then based on these two conversations and these two narrations, it will be very difficult for me to find myself saying that the man is the cause and the woman is the cause. Uh, if marriage happens, it has happened because there is a male and a female. And where there is a male and female, our issue becomes very paramount because the male and female we are having, their role play in marriages is what ends up to make it marriage. So when there's no role to be played, marriage is not executed. I know you don't get it. Tabuku, you get it. Anytime we say there is marriage, there's marriage because a male and a female have taken the decision to be together. And in their request to be together, in their request to be together, the man and the woman are not the same. We can only define their status by virtue of what they do. when God created Adam, but the moment he created Eve, every creation stopped. This tells you that God handed the next creation to woman to continue. So we can say that is the man. We can say is the woman. We can say is both of them. We can say is none of them. But in our own thinking and in our honest report, being very honest and objective, between the male and the female, that is the husband and the wife, who really causes more trouble in marriage? Because marriage works with tolerance. Marriage, it works with tolerance. So my next question is, between the male and the female, who's more tolerating? Who can tolerate the more? Is it the male or is the female? Who does more toleration? Is it the husband or the wife? Who tolerates each other? Who gives way to tolerance? I rest my case for today. Tomorrow, I will continue. Or maybe later in the day. Thank you.